Have you ever noticed that sometimes the meanest person you'll talk to all day is yourself? Not your spouse, not your boss, not a stranger on the internet. You. I don't know about you, but I have an inner critic. And honestly, it's not very nice. It's that voice that tells me I should be doing more, that I'm not doing enough, that I should have handled something differently, that I sounded stupid, that I messed up, that everyone else has it figured out except me. And if I'm being completely honest, that voice can be exhausting. Recently, during a meditation, I was asked to sit with that voice and really listen to what it was saying. Not run from it, not fight it, just listen. And wow, it had a lot to say, a lot of criticism, a lot of judgment, a lot of fear. And while part of me wanted to tell it to shut up, another part of me got curious. Because in this voice, or if this voice has been following me around for almost 4 decades, maybe there's something worth understanding. One of the biggest things I've learned lately is that awareness changes everything. You can't change something you don't notice. And for years, many of my thoughts were running on autopilot. I didn't even realize how often I was criticizing myself. I thought it was normal. I thought everyone walked around talking to themselves like that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I know I did, and I do. What's interesting is that if someone spoke to my daughters that way, the way I speak to myself sometimes, I would be furious. Like, if someone looked at them and said, "You're not good enough, you're failing, you're embarrassing, you should be better," I'd never tolerate it. Yet somehow I tolerated it for myself every day for years. Why is that? Why are we sometimes so much kinder to everyone else than we are to ourselves? I don't have the answer, um, but I think part of it is that we get so used to the voice, we stop questioning it. I guess we just assume it's telling the truth. My life coach said something recently that really stuck with me, and it's something he learned. Um, he talked about turning automatic negative thoughts into automatic loving thoughts. And I love that idea. Not because it's easy or there's a magic button, um, but because it gives me something to practice. Because that's what it is. I mean, practice. I think sometimes people hear words like healing, mindfulness, self awareness, or personal growth and imagine that one day you wake up and suddenly everything is fixed. You never have another negative thought, you never doubt yourself again, you never get anxious, you never get angry, criticize yourself. That hasn't been my experience. Not even close. For me, growth has looked more like catching the thought. That's it. Just catching it. Instead of letting it run wild, instead of believing it automatically, instead of accepting it as a fact, I notice it, I pause, and I ask myself, is that true? Would I say that to someone I love? What is the voice actually trying to tell me? Because here's another thing I've been thinking about. Maybe our inner critic isn't actually trying to hurt us. Maybe it's trying to protect us, just in a really terrible way. Maybe it's afraid. Maybe it's trying to prevent rejection, prevent failure, prevent embarrassment, prevent disappointment. The problem is that its delivery needs work, a lot of work. Imagine instead of saying, you're a failure, or if it, you know, instead of it saying you're a failure, it said, you're scared right now. Imagine it's saying, instead of saying you're not good enough, it said, you're worried about being accepted. Imagine if instead of attacking us, it communicated what was underneath the criticism: fear, hurt, insecurity, uncertainty. Maybe that's where the real work begins. Not silencing the inner critic, not fighting it, not pretending it's gone, but learning to understand it, learning to respond differently, learning to become aware when it shows up. For me, mindfulness has helped. Meditation has helped. Binaural audio has helped. Learning about the nervous system has helped. Talking to my life coach has helped. None of these things magically fixed me, but they've helped me notice. And awareness is powerful. I think that's what personal growth really is. Not becoming a different person or perfect, not eliminating every flaw, but becoming aware enough to choose a different response. One thought at a time, one moment at a time, one day at a time. So if your inner critic has been especially loud lately, you're not alone. Mine still shows up too, more often than I'd like. But these days, instead of handing it the microphone and letting it run the whole show, I'm learning to have a conversation with it. I'm learning to ask questions. I'm learning to challenge it. And most importantly, I'm learning to speak to myself with a little more kindness. Dear inner critic, I know you're there. I know you're trying to protect me. But we're going to work on your communication skills together. And maybe, just maybe, we can learn to work together instead of against each other. Until next time, be kind to yourself. And remember, you're probably doing better than you think. There's so many desires to choose.